Before I get to Thursday's complimentary plays, I just wanted to take a moment to issue a public apology to both Gonzaga University and the Houston Rockets. I am taking full responsibility for snapping Gonzaga's 22-game winning streak when the Bulldogs lost 2 nights ago in the championship game of the West Coast Conference Tournament to St. Mary's. I am also taking full responsibility for the Houston Rockets' 9-game winning streak coming to an end when they lost last night to the Golden State Warriors at home. Yes, it is all on me, because I had a top-rated 15-dime best bet on Gonzaga 2 nights ago when they played St. Mary's and lost that game outright. Because last night I had only the third 20-dime raise-the-bar release of the entire season for yours truly on the Rockets when they hosted the Golden State Warriors minus Kevin Durant and lost outright at home to the defending champions. It is because of me that Gonzaga and Golden State both lost those games. So again, I am issuing an apology to both organizations, the school, and to their respective fan bases. It is just pretty damn amazing that I can do that to those two teams. Just like that, put an end to their winning streaks. And it just goes to show you why over the past 25 years I've always said there are no guarantees in gambling. Look it up in the dictionary. Do people still use dictionaries, come to think of it? But look it up anyway. Guaranteed and gambling. You will not find those words on the same page. But not like I'm exactly crying here, because going into those consecutive losses, short term, I had won 6 of the previous 8 days. And the fact is, since last July, I've made a bloody fortune, and you have too, if you've been following me religiously. And today is another day. Now, the complimentary plays last night, and listen, I don't mean to be cavalier about it, but listen, if you're going to gamble, accept this going into it. Before you make your very first bet, accept the fact that you're going to lose. If you accept that that is reality, you're going to be a much happier person. Don't expect to win every single day, because that's not real. That's not reality. Accept the fact that you're going to lose, and you're going to be a much more successful gambler. And then when you lose, you're going to be able to deal with it. You're not going to be one of these psychos that's going to be walking on the ledge every single day. You're not going to be suicidal. Seriously. Accept the fact that you're going to lose before you ever make your first wager. So if you're one of these people that's watching these video reports and you're thinking about maybe getting into gambling, you're thinking about making that first wager, trust me, I'm not leading you adrift here. I'm telling you what the reality of the situation is. I'm not trying to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn or swampland in Florida. I'm just telling you what the real deal is. Now, the complimentary plays last night. I gave you a really good one on Providence, beating up Butler. I give you a play on the Detroit Pistons. I believe they lost by 147 points to the Miami Heat, so we'll just ignore that one. I've won 6 of my last 8 complimentary plays here on the short term, and I've got a number of them for your college card here today. Of course, listen, college conference tournament action. I find that these games are so much more difficult to win than your big dance games next week. They're more difficult to win than even NIT games, the CIT tournament games, any of those minor league tournament games that we're going to have next week. And you would think normally they would be easy because we've seen these teams play for the last 3 months. But no. Because now you're taking teams that are generally going to be playing for a third time this season, but you're throwing them into neutral court situations. And you're asking them to play 2 games in 2 days, 3 games in 3 days. You're having teams that had a play-in game, playing teams that have been idle since Saturday or Sunday. And you just never know what happens, because suddenly a 7th or 8th seed catches lightning in a bottle and wins 3 games in 3 days, 4 games in 4 days. And you know they're not that good. But you have to take a step back and go, is this one of those Cinderella teams? We just saw it in the West Coast Conference Tournament, where we saw number 8 and number 7 seeds in Pepperdine and San Diego advance to the semifinals against St. Mary's and Gonzaga, respectively. And you just never can tell. And that's why these college conference tournaments are so damn difficult to handicap and make money in. So anyway, listen, with these games, a lot of them start at 12 noon Eastern time. Today, a couple of handicappers have big plays on the very early card. Among them, Jack Raymond, who's going for his 5th straight winning day. Top-rated basketball, 100-dime play, Atlantic 10 tournament game of the year. LaSalle in Rhode Island. It tips off at noon Eastern time. You can get it for over half price off. Do you know he has made $10 bettors $18,917 over the past 361 days. 4 days short of a full year. He's made guys 18 grand. That's wins minus losses minus the VIG. Now that's long-term profit. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code early. Another guy new to the site would be Bobby Valentino. He's going for his He's been on the site 6 days. He's had 5 winners, $10 bettors, have made a little over $3,200. He's got a big play on the Indiana-Ohio State game that goes at 12:30 Eastern time. And Jay McNeil, who also just joined the site last Friday. He is his 100-dime max bet winner number 4 out of 5. He had Providence yesterday. It's on the late game between Oregon and Utah. It goes at 11:30 Eastern time. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code LINEERROR. Listen, all your coupons and promos are over on the homepage. Let me get to your complimentary plays. I think a fascinating game to look at today would be the Penn State game at the United Center against Minnesota. The Lions, a team that I like because they finished the regular season with a flourish, winning 5 of their last 6, beat up Illinois 72-56 at home on Sunday. Their lone loss in that final 6 games came by 4 points at Wisconsin. They are a much better team here and now than the team that lost 65-64 January 19th at Minnesota, the only time that the Gophers and the Lions met this season. And that was a game that Penn State was up by 11 points early in the second half. But in that game, Minnesota hit 17 of 21 free throws, right, in the second half. Penn State in that game, only 9 of 16 free throws they hit in the second half, and that's what cost the Lions that game. That and the fact that they couldn't stop Jordan Murphy, who had just one of those games of a lifetime. 19 points, 21 rebounds, and 6 assists in 35 minutes. Jordan Murphy is not going to have that type of game again. For as good as he is not going to have one of those games again. So I will gladly lay the 2.5 points with the hotter team, Penn State, right now at the United Center here, and go with the Lions in that game. It goes at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Another team that I've ridden all season long. No, actually, let me go back. I'm going to take a look at one of these early games. I like Rhode Island. It's a game that tips off at noon Eastern time. It's at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. This is a team that, as a veteran team, won the Atlantic 10 tournament in 2017 and then lost in the championship game last year to Davidson. Another team that caught lightning in the bottle late in the season, winning its final 4 games. And in that 4-game stretch, their guard, Fats Russell, averaged 26.5 points. Now, this is a team that, before that 4-game winning streak to finish the season, had lost 5 straight and 7 out of 8. But they beat George Washington at home by 27. Then, consecutive overtime wins at Dayton. They won 72-70, catching 7. Then they won at St. Joe's in overtime as a 2.5-point dog, 86-85, and then they closed at home against UMass on Saturday, 94-75. Now, they won the lone regular season meeting with LaSalle on the road, January 19th, 78-67. LaSalle did finish the season on a winning note. They beat Fordham 72-57 this past weekend. But keep in mind, the Rams lost 15 of their previous 18 games before LaSalle beat them. And they got knocked out of the tournament last night by Richmond. This is not a very good LaSalle team. Rhode Island has covered 7 of the last 10 in the series, and I am more than willing to lay the 5 points here with Rhode Island in this early game. Another early game, Indiana and Ohio State. Another team, Indiana, that is recaptured its early season form when it started 11-2. Then it lost 12 out of a 13. But now you've got an Indiana team that's won 4 straight. Who did they beat? They beat Wisconsin at home. They beat Michigan State at home. They won at Illinois. And then they beat Rutgers in revenge handily at home on Sunday. What has turned around for Indiana? The Hoosiers got healthy. Juwan Morgan is playing some great ball right now, and they're going to need Juwan Morgan today, because the only regular season meeting between Ohio State and Indiana, Ohio State won in Bloomington, but again, it was that time period when Indiana was kind of playing with a very short roster. Juwan Morgan only had 3 points in that game, only took like 7 shots, hit one of them. I think Indiana is playing great ball right now. Ohio State just closed with 3 straight losses. Of course, their big guy, their leading scorer and their leading rebounder, Caleb Wesson, was suspended for those 3 games. He's back today. Now, he has practiced with the team the past 2 weeks while he's been suspended. But practicing with the team and being in game shape, 2 different things. I just think the Hoosiers have momentum. They've got Archie Miller as their head coach. This is a guy who, when he was piloting Dayton, had great success in the postseason. And I think that in a battle of 2 bubble teams, the Hoosiers need to win at least 1 more game to enhance their big dance chances, and I say they get it today, so I'm more than willing to lay the 2.5 points here for Indiana, a team that's in triple revenge in this series. So I'm going to go with them. And yeah, that'll do it for your complimentary play. So again, on the night card, I like Penn State. On the early card, I like Indiana and Rhode Island. That'll do it. Wish you well. Talk to you again tomorrow.